podcast is rated PG-13. Parents strongly cautioned. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. Mission 250.
Welcome to the Mission 250 Filmcast, where we are watching every movie on the IMDb Top 250 Movies of All Time list. This week, we are doing number 242, which is the 2012 movie, The Avengers. And if you need a synopsis of this movie, you're not getting it because you should have seen this movie. I'm one of your hosts, Denny.
I'm John.
And I'm TC.
And this week, John is going to start us.
So the way I started is how I felt about the movie watching it. So this is the second time I've seen it. I really liked it the first time I saw it in theaters. It was great. I like Joss Whedon a lot, and I love Firefly, which is a television series that he did. And that he wrote and directed this. I was like really excited about the whole thing. And the movie has these great moments that he does, which you have like just really funny parts from Hulk, Hulk and Thor battling it out, and then they like have a pause, and then Hulk smacks Thor. There's just moments in the film that are just really great, funny moments. It also does a really good job with individual characters, which he seemed to try to do with each and every character in the movie, which was pretty cool. But I didn't like it as much, I don't think, watching it this week.
What was the difference?
I don't know. Well, I knew all of the good bits already.
Oh, yeah.
So I wasn't like pleasantly surprised by all the different. I mean, there's really cool things that happens in Joss Whedon movies. He likes to set something up where the viewer expects something to happen and be long and drawn out, and he makes it really short. Like when Hulk, Loki tells Hulk, "I'm a god," and Hulk just immediately just flips him over, and that's the end. That's the battle, and it's awesome.
That was funny. I love that part.
It was great. There's moments in Firefly like that too, where you expect, here we go, and then it's over, and it's really funny usually the way he does it.
Yeah, that was good, and I love how Banner just walks away at that point. He didn't even say anything.
Yeah,
puny god.
All the action is like really quick, and the quickness kind of makes it seem more violent. Because like the people's momentum, like when you throw Thor through like a shipping container, and it just like you can barely see him go through it. Yeah,
it's just like sudden too. Yeah, a lot of things happen sort of like as things are just going by, and it's really neat. And again, I think in the theater, in the big screen, that's probably another thing I'm missing by watching it again on a relatively smaller screen. Is you just miss all of that, the great action. But I felt some of it just went on along. That final battle seemed to go on quite a long time to me, where they're like doing different things. And now Scarlett's getting up in this plane for one of the enemy planes.
Well,
and knows how to fly.
They had to give everybody their moment, though.
I guess so. But they each had two or three, it seemed. Like maybe they could have one moment, but I think they each had three. So that's kind of...
You got too much of a good thing, John, and you're complaining about it because you want to take a nap.
Yeah,
right. Like, look, it was awesome, so it just needs to be less awesome, because, I don't get that.
We're pushing 230 right now. Okay.
Yeah, getting tired here. Getting tired.
Wow, that's the third cool thing Iron Man did this battle scene. Jeez.
Yeah.
Jeez. Man, isn't there a limit or something?
Yeah. But there's great, like Tony, like after Iron Man gets thrown down, he talks about shawarma.
That was an awesome scene.
Yeah.
Like, say, guys, what do you say? We take the day off tomorrow? Just don't come in. There's a great shawarma place.
Yeah, that was just awesome.
Classic.
Yeah. So this even though I didn't feel like I liked it as much, this movie has so many great moments in it, and you have such awesome actors. And great characters that
they're really selling all of their silly hats and outfits. Like,
they all are.
Who would have like Loki, especially Loki and Captain America? Their outfits are ridiculous looking.
Yeah. Loki's with the big horns coming up and around and in front.
Oh my God, the horns are something else.
But you're right, Denny. Every one of these characters is like just playing it to the hilt. There's no winking, campy, nothing. They're just all like in it. It's pretty cool. And these are like really accomplished actors.
Yeah. Academy Award winners,
Definitely.
Right? Some of them, like, doesn't Robert Downey Jr. have stuff?
He's got stuff.
I think he's got some stuff. Yeah.
Does he? Ruffalo has been nominated for stuff. I don't know if he's won stuff.
Mark Buffalo.
I love this general stuff that we keep talking about. And we're not going to pinpoint it for you at all, folks.
No,
we're going to just say stuff.
We're not even allowed, I don't think, Yeah.
Oh, it's against the limits. It's like the NFL. You have to get signed written consent.
That's true, right? Or you'll have, that's a good point.
Do you see? It sounds like you like this too.
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
we talking about the
podcast
stuff,
is
or are we
about,
talking about the movie? Yeah.
No, the movie.
I thought the movie was great. I watched it 3 times.
Oh shoot! Oh, I don't know why I centered myself there, but that's a lot.
After assignment, you watched it 3
After
times?
assignment.
Wow. Oh, because you'd never seen this.
I had never seen it.
Oh wow!
So this was my first time seeing it.
Nice.
First time I watched it was awesome because it was just explosions, and I had a copy where my bass was utilized well.
Nice.
So I had like really big explosions. And I was listening to it way too friggin' loud, and it was really cool. I was feeling it. I was feeling the movie. I was feeling the just
the feels
the
parts.
awesomeness, the awesome feel of the film. How like everything is so grandeur, and it's just everything's huge. Everything.
Nice.
From even the arguments to the explosions to I guess even some of the witty humor is like it's just everything is grand.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I watched it once with the commentary so that I could sort of get a feel for.
Nice. We get to
this
be
was the first
commentary
one
buddies
I think I've
now.
ever done commentary.
Yeah.
On and that was cool because I guess Whedon is just how do you say his name? Is that right?
Yeah.
Whedon,
Joss Whedon.
He's
a cynical son of a
really
bitch.
He's kind of a funny guy. He's a funny guy. Yeah.
There were multiple times in the commentary where I was starting to write down something interesting, and then I had to stop because he was like lying about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He would like be so sarcastic and dry that I'm like, wow, that's really. Oh, he's joking.
Yeah, that one where he was like, and then we all laughed and laughed. Oh wait, no, we didn't laugh. We were just sad. He's like, nobody laughs during it. No, I don't have any fun.
He's an amazing guy. I didn't get to watch the commentary, but I mean, he's.
Do you have a Blu-ray with you or something?
Yeah, we got it. Yeah,
you should keep it and watch it because it's good.
Yeah. Well, I started.
Yeah, it is.
I started to watch it, but I was like, oh, I can't watch the movie at the same time, and I wanted to at least do that since it's been so long.
And that's why I had to do it 3 times because I watched it once, then I watched the commentary, and then I watched it again without commentary, so I could like get another feel for the story. And I'm kind of with John. I know where John's coming from now as far as him not liking it. Because I remember by the 3rd time, I had all the bells and whistles had been done. I had figured it out, the story. And I knew when all the next big explosions were happening. So it takes something out of it because you're not like shocked as you're watching it anymore.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, you know where you're at. You know what's coming next. So there's not as much surprise happening. So I can see why you would kind of lose interest on a second watch, but the first watch is really the only one that matters, right?
Yeah. And it was for what it is. I mean, because Josh has been doing this. Him and I are on a first name basis. He's been doing this kind of thing for a while, but on a smaller screen. With Firefly and stuff. If you really like this stuff, you'd love Firefly.
I love Firefly. Absolutely.
Yeah, but this is like a big. To see this, huge blockbuster movie and him writing and directing it, to see this stuff make it to the big screen. Iron Man kind of started to change the way, take the superhero and turn some things on its ears. Even with Iron Man, when at the very end of that, he goes, yeah, I'm Iron Man, which is the most awesome thing. It's like completely screwing the whole secret identity thing, which it seems is so central to like almost every superhero movie ever.
Yeah.
So I think the Avengers even goes a little further and just sort of like turns some of these things on its ear. It has them squabbling in the middle of it, where they're all basically a bunch of big egos, sort of like fighting for dominance or whatever.
Oh, was that when they were on the ship?
Yeah.
The Whedon there said that was like the hardest thing to they had shot stuff from that was supposed to be in a way different scene much later in the film, and then they ended up all just kind of mending it together.
It sounded like he jigsawed the entire movie when they were editing it. Yeah,
it did. Yeah. And he kept giving the editors props.
Yeah, he was giving everyone
props stuff for him. Yeah. It sounds like a guy that has these great, huge ideas and then like has all this footage and kind of gets lost in the mix. Huh. And then someone else has got the footage and they're like, well, what if we took this section
and they're going to have it make
so much more
sense.
sense. Yeah, right. And then they show it to him and he's like, holy shit. Yeah. Oh, there it is. You're right. It does make more sense. So let's keep it that way, you know?
Yeah, he certainly wasn't egotistical at all. Like he would always take the better idea every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And he always seems to come across as just a very likable, smart guy.
Yeah, especially if you're a nerd.
Fun. Yeah.
Well, right, Denny.
Yeah. Well, actually, only if you're a nerd, I think. But that's like pop now, right? Being nerds are mainstream at this point.
It's cool, right? It's cool.
Partially because of this movie, I think.
If they are, I don't know. Do you get to use the word nerd anymore? Because then it loses its, and it's not nerd. It's just normal.
Well, the definition is changed. Yeah. Just like jock now is not cool, right? Unless it is. I don't know.
Well, it depends where you live.
I never knew anything about it, so I couldn't tell you.
So TC, I'm on the same page as you. This is the third time I've seen this. I saw it in the theater, and my first viewing experience was extremely similar. It was awesome. The second time, I remember liking it less. And actually, I watched it 4 times because of the commentary. But on a different thing, like I've seen all the other Marvel Universe movies since then, and they get worse and worse. And like when I was thinking, I couldn't remember, and it wasn't even that long ago. It was only 4 years ago this movie came out, which is insane because of how many other movies have come out in the meantime. But I remember mostly the second Avengers and the third Iron Man and the Captain America movie, the second one, like all that stuff. And this one is way better than all of the new ones in like every way.
Do you think maybe it's just like shake-ups in the higher-up departments?
These are different. You have different people writing and directing these, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
too.
Well, and different crews that take care of the marketing, different crews that take care of the ideas for, what it should be as a story.
Joss Whedon, he wrote and directed the second Avengers too.
Right.
And it wasn't as good.
That one.
And it there's a bunch of like really kind of entertaining stories online about how it broke him. And that was the last movie he did, and he's not planning on doing any more anytime soon.
Well, yeah, I mean, he said that he hates doing movies. When he's in the thick of it, he hates it.
Yeah.
Well, it's got to be hugely stressful.
You can imagine. Yeah. And I mean, so they gave him 2 years from when he accepted the job to when this movie was supposed to be in the theaters, which is an insanely short period of time for how big this movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was already like way behind schedule. Not way behind, but it was behind schedule. They had like, because he had to, the script was already written, but then he came on and rewrote everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, I really hope he gets back into it, because I think if he, it's kind of the same thing that happened with Peter Jackson. Like once you're forced into the machine of Hollywood, and it just like kills your creativity and motivation, it seems. Like not even $100 million can, help your motivation.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's not enough.
Yeah, Age of Ultron was like 2015. I mean, it's it's not like a ton of time has passed.
Yeah, but usually, I mean, directors that do this type of stuff, they hop on to other things immediately, because Age of Ultron made a shit ton of money too.
Yeah, but I mean, how long is it? It's a year per thing, right? Like eventually you got to take 2 months off.
Yeah. He created the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show too.
Yeah.
And so he was doing that from 2013 to 2016, or to currently. I mean, I don't know how involved he is on that day to day, but he was the creator of it. Mm-hmm. He hasn't. You're right. I was just looking at his IMDb page, and there's nothing.
It is
nothing
blank
on the horizon.
Yeah.
He just might need a break. This movie's got to be taxing as hell.
And he has all the money he ever needs.
He's set.
At this point, the money is irrelevant, I would think.
Yeah.
Could be. So let's talk about the movie itself. The very first thing, I watched this with Naomi. She noticed that the very first thing you see is the Avengers symbol, which is an A with an arrow through it as the like the dash through the capital A. Uh-huh. It looks suspiciously like the Hillary Clinton logo.
Oh, really?
If you break apart the top of the A, it's the exact same logo.
I am looking it up right now.
Yeah, which is pretty interesing.
It's also
with the little arrow. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, look at that. Son of a gun.
And I wouldn't have noticed that, but Naomi was like, oh, it's Hillary Clinton's thing. Weird.
Well, she's paying attention, apparently.
Yeah. To the font.
Logo.
So the first scene in the base, right? In the underground base. That was an actual location. It was a NASA location. I assume that you guys aren't comic book fans. You don't know the backstory between.
No, certainly haven't
not
read
so
them.
much. Yeah,
A graphic novel here or there, but
you don't know
Tintin.
like the backstory to the Tesseract or anything like that.
no, do you?
No. And I loved listening to Whedon talk about like making up science. That was awesome. He's like, yeah, just making it up,
and then
because
science
don't
happens.
do science. Yeah, and then science happens. Yeah. So explain the Tesseract.
I don't know. I mean, a Tesseract is like it's like a mathematical term for like a cube is to a square as a Tesseract is to a cube. It's like the fourth dimension square, I guess.
Well, already that's
all right.
more info than I had.
Yeah.
So,
and the thing is, so if you look up an image of an actual Tesseract, it doesn't look the same. But I think the fourth dimension in this one is supposed to be like the time travel part, right?
okay.
I think because that would make sense.
Well, that's what they called. Is that what they called it? When Loki came.
Yeah, they mentioned it.
Yeah,
That's what they call it
like it's
throughout.
acting
Yeah.
up again. The Good Will Hunting guy was like, it's acting up again.
Oh,
What
he
do you
was a
say?
good
It's
Will Hunting.
misbehaving. Yeah, misbehaving is
The
what he said.
possessed.
Is that a joke? Samuel L., is that a joke? Nope. It's literally misbehaving.
So they have it in that like isolation chamber in the bottom of the thing, but then when he needs to, Samuel L. Jackson can just grab it and put it in his bag.
By the way, that's not going to burn his hands. No. He's fine.
Like,
Yeah,
you
he
saw
just
him
takes
shake
it
his
right
hand
out.
afterwards. He shook his hand. It was a
Yeah.
little toasty.
Ow, it was a little hot. You know, it was
Am
like
I
when you
just,
grab the plate from the microwave. You know, it was a little hot.
Am I just making this up, or were they referring to it as she?
They were, which is very weird. It's like she's getting her and all, like, yeah, it was a female for sure.
Because it's moody. What?
Oh, is this movie
John.
sexist?
Tread lightly.
No, I'm
He
just
didn't do it.
joking.
The movie did it.
Yeah,
Fucking Joss.
Don't blame John. Blame the movie.
yeah.
So I don't really like all the science parts are kind of weird, but again, it's a superhero movie, so
Right. And he said that too. He said like it's a movie, but it's also a comic book.
yeah.
So like they have leeway to do certain things and to ignore certain things. And at the end of the day, it's a comic book.
Yeah.
You can do it.
I want to ask if you guys felt any danger for anybody, like any of the mortality of any of the characters the entire movie.
No.
No, I think the closest maybe, well, I mean, certainly I think what really highlights that is when Agent Coulson dies. Like that's like a real shocker, sort of, because everybody is sort of invulnerable up until that point. Even the humans kind of seem to be. Whether like Scarlett's character and then Arrow guy, Hawkeye.
Guy, bald guy, mustache guy.
I know.
Looks like a castle. I don't.
So
fucking know.
you're right. I mean, I think there's kind of there's a scene where Scarlett's like getting sort of chased around by the Hulk, which I think that sort of felt a little bit scary, but yeah. It's like these are all like amazing characters. I mean, Joss also does this thing where he will kill characters that people like in his TV series.
Oh.
He mentions
he
that
did.
in the commentary.
Yeah.
Yep. He does mention
Correct.
that. And it was cool because John just hit the point of where they built up to killing off the guy there, the
Coulson.
Poulsen. They built up to that, and then they made sure that every single character had a brief last interaction with him throughout the movie, and they did that on purpose so that it was like a closing. It would build up closing basically because of all the other previous movies. So they gave each actor like a certain time, and it was the best. The best one I thought was when he kept talking about Captain America and how, like in a meeting, somehow they came up with the idea like he should be like a fan of Captain America.
Yeah.
And like he's like really, and he's really going out. He's like, hey, just like checking in and make sure you're okay. Like whatever you want to do. Like I tidied up the uniform for you. And he like changes his whole personality at that little last minute with Captain America because he's like a fan.
Yeah.
He's such a fan of Captain America. He doesn't know how to talk to him.
It was
awesome.
It was very cute. And Captain America was like embarrassed for him and tried walking away.
Right. But I didn't notice like until he mentioned that they were trying to do that. Like I didn't particularly notice anything like that.
Well, the cards were
like,
the big thing, right? The cards at the end,
right?
With his, like,
but they didn't do it in a ham-fisted way because they wanted it to shock you and be surprised when it all turned. I mean, the whole like and he even has a great moment before he dies, like where he still shoots Loki. It's awesome.
Is that how that works? He says,
yeah, that was really it's just great. And he, spoiler alert, if you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he doesn't really die. Or he actually does die, but he comes back.
How does he come back?
Again, spoiler alert, I guess several
spoil, sure.
series or several, I don't know, like the second year of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I don't really watch, but I would look this up. I guess Nick Fury, after he was dead for like 2 days, had him resurrected. And it was this extremely painful surgical process that took a long time and was incredibly painful to where he would be often begging the surgeons to kill him. And then he wiped his memories of that experience.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So
he doesn't really
heavy.
die. He just suffers terribly for a long time.
Yeah, right. They just make him
back.
suffer horribly. And he's fine after that.
Did you guys tell that Scarlett Johansson had a stunt double for most of her scenes?
No, I didn't know.
Not really.
That's good.
No.
She had a body double for all of her walking away shots there were in the film?
It depends on the shape of the butt.
Oh, you can tell?
You can
butt
definitely
shape.
tell some ScarJo butt.
Versus non-ScarJo butt.
It is big.
It
Like,
is. Indeed
would you say
large.
better or worse than the body double, or is it just a matter of preference?
It's a matter of taste, John.
I see.
Oh, butt taste.
Yeah,
Copy butt taste.
prefer the word preference.
Butt preference.
It's a matter of how
Excuse
your
me,
taste
sir.
buds
What
are
is your
assigned.
butt preference?
Yes.
Are you a ScarJo kind of butt or a Kim
So
kind of butt?
was that like a big deal that she didn't do a lot in the film or
No,
something?
I just could definitely notice, especially in the first scene where she was like flipping around people, you'd have shots of her kind of like with her face, and then it would be her back, and the person would be like doing flips, and you would never see the face.
Yeah, she had to do
Well, I mean, what do you
acrobatics
want?
like no one else did in that film, I think. Or unless they were totally CGI. I mean, Thor had to do some things, but he was moving real fast when he did stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and didn't you think it was cool, Denny, that she rearranged her schedule when Homeboy got hurt or sick or whatever?
That was cool.
And
You want to tell
she
John?
didn't want to. So they Scarlett Johansson and what's the other guy's
Jeremy
name?
Renner.
Jeremy Renner apparently got something happened to him
When
hurt,
their fight scene.
sick
Their fight scene.
in their fight scene.
Yeah.
So he had to take some time off, and they couldn't shoot all of these things right at once. They had to wait for him to get better. So she rearranged her whole production schedule for something else so that she could make sure that she was in the shots with him. Because what they would proposed was to do the shots separately, like they would shoot her
and then
stuff
behind the
and
back
then shoot his stuff later. And she was like, no, I want to be in the scene with him for that. So I'll just rearrange everything, and we'll come back when he's set.
Yeah.
And we'll do the shots together.
Yeah, he apparently pulled his neck in that fight scene in the
That's
ship.
what it was. He pulled his neck.
Yeah.
How do you pull a neck?
And he could barely move, is what he said, which sucks.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah.
That was a cool little tidbit.
They had they apparently were friends on the set, those two. They liked each other.
Apparently.
Oh, come on. You're not going to be friends with Scarlett Johansson. I'd be, yeah.
But
I'm
are
your
you going to
best
be
friend all
friends
of
with
a sudden.
Jeremy Renner?
Why not?
I don't know. Naomi hates him for some reason. It's pretty funny,
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah, whenever he's in a movie, she's like, I hate his face.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I would think a
I
lot
like
of women feel differently for that.
I think he's good.
I hate his face. That's a great Northeastern quote. I hate your face. Your face is just not doing it for me. Sorry.
He is.
He's been in a lot of stuff. I mean,
He was in the Hurt Locker the first time I saw him, and he was good.
Yeah,
in
Hurt
that.
Locker was awesome.
Yeah.
I like Jeremy Renner. I don't know what she's talking
Yeah,
about.
I like him too. I don't know. Different strokes, I guess. Different faces.
maybe he just reminds her of someone she doesn't like.
Yeah, that's very possible.
That's maybe you're right. Subconscious.
Yeah. So the next scene from the Scarlett Johansson scene is in India, and they're getting the Hulk. All of that stuff was this entire movie was shot mostly in Albuquerque or Cleveland.
Yeah.
One of those two
Yeah,
places.
Cleveland. What the hell is that?
Uh,
Sometimes you just have to go to places and find beautiful things.
It's
That's
mind
what he
blowing
said, or
how
something like that.
isn't it crazy how it's easier to build, like that India set was amazing, but wouldn't it have been just easier to go to India? Is that not how that works? Than to build an entire set?
Probably not.
Not if you got to fly all these people out there and house them and everything.
House them and the liability insurance that you got to
and
pay just
the
to get everyone in
weather
a place.
and-
It's foreign.
Yeah, and I mean, it's better to be in the middle of the desert where everything is cheap, and it's probably pretty easy for most of those actors to get to,
Yeah.
comparatively speaking. And those, I'm sure that they were like flying around a lot with all of them having different projects and whatnot.
Another good Center of the Desert, that the barge they were on.
This is a great fact.
Is funny.
Love this fact.
That ocean liner thing, what do you call them? The thing that goes up in the air later. The airboat thing.
Yeah.
When the
airboat thing.
They built all of the runway stuff in the middle of the desert, and then they green screened around the outside, and it was so hot in the desert that Joss's sneakers melted on the tarmac during the shoot one day.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was like, it was a brutal shoot for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody
if you look
was
at
just baking in the sun.
They all had jeans on and like leather jackets and stuff. It was
not a good day. Not a good day.
It's insane.
It was. I can picture it too, 12 hours too. 12 friggin' hours out there in the sun.
Do you think it would have been that long?
They shoot every day for 12 hours at least. So they're going to do, I would think with a thing like that, with all those shots they had there, that would be a day. At least,
John,
a few days.
TC knows this because he listened to the commentary, but if you were to guess, with your limited knowledge of how long movies are supposed to take to shoot, how many days of actual shooting do you think this movie would take?
Okay, first I'd just like to say that flying thing is called the helicarrier.
Helicarrier. Very nice.
Science.
It's not called an airboat? Plane ship? No.
Boat that flies.
Boat that flies.
So how many days?
Yes.
So I would put it in terms of months. So I would say maybe 4 months.
That's pretty close.
Shooting.
3.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
90 days. Yep.
Okay.
Ooh, Jinx. Buy me a Coke, would you?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Gonna have to ship it across the country. It's gonna be all shooken up and warm.
Days. It's a long time but not.
Is that a long
really.
No, dude, this movie is like epic as hell. I can't believe they did it all in 90 days.
Well, they shot stuff in 90 days. Now, it took probably 6 months or longer to do all of the 3D stuff. All that extra programming that took place after their shots were done.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff was added in. There's only so much you can shoot. They pretty much, I don't know, conversion, or is that what they called it, right?
Yeah, the 3D conversion.
They added in so much stuff.
They were planning on shooting it in 3D, but it sounded like Joss tried it for 3 hours during one day and was like, this doesn't work.
Nope.
And then
this isn't gonna work.
And then they just did it in post.
Oh.
And he justified it to himself that it works better in post.
He was more happy with it. Yeah,
but I've heard from everybody that it's better if you do it during the filming.
It is.
Well, if you don't have to show up to post except for that one night when they show you what they've done, I'm thinking it's probably not that bad.
Well, it's probably easier, but
right.
Is it better?
I don't know.
It can't be.
And did any of you watch it on 3D?
I saw it in 3D when it first came out in theaters.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did too.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Damn. See, I missed out on that.
Yeah.
So is it different shooting in 3D? You have to do different things?
2 cameras.
Different camera.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's two lenses right next to each other.
Oh,
and then you have
to
like set up you have to set up the angle. It's pretty much, 4 times as hard to do a single shot. Because you have to not only like focus on one camera, you have to focus on the other one, and then figure out how the two are gonna the depth of whatever you're shooting is gonna be.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, screw that.
Yeah, it sounds really hard.
Yeah.
Conversion sounds much better.
Yeah.
It didn't look that bad. Some of it kind of looks cheesy, but a lot of times it did look really good. It looked believable anyways.
Yeah. A lot of it, like the meshing of the real stuff, like when that giant worms in the sky where like its tail was flicking the building and then it cut to the inside of the building. It looked real.
Yep. I know. So those guys can do some pretty cool work, huh?
Yeah.
Those the 3D guys.
Yeah. And they were talking about
it just seemed like there was a lot more done in post than there was in shots.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they said that Mark Buffalo was like working.
Buffalo?
Mark Buffalo. Yeah.
I'm calling him Buffalo Buff from now on. Mark Buff.
Anyway,
he was doing motion capture before, during, and after the shoot. So that's kind of part of the shoot. I don't know what defines the shoot if he's doing stuff the entire time.
Well, because they have reshoots, I guess, right?
Yeah. Does that extend the length of the shoot, or is like the first wrap? Is that the end of it?
Probably the first wrap, because I think then they call it reshoots.
Yeah, because it's like we could make a movie, but it might be shitty.
Yeah, like you go through your whole process, and then you have all your edits done, and then you go through reshoots to fix certain things. So I don't think that counts as the initial.
You don't just like tack the days on. It's like add one day.
I mean, logically, it seems like you should.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I don't know. We might have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Jot that down.
So another interesting fact about the film, did you know that it was a 1.85 to 1 ratio shot for the film, which is unusual. I don't know. It says that's unusual for an epic film like this. You guys are the film
you're gonna throw out a trivia that you have absolutely no idea.
Can you guys do anything with that? No.
Yeah.
Hey, dude. Hey, guy.
I'm trying to participate
for you here. Yeah.
1.85? Is that good?
1.5. We got with that.
1.85 to 1.
What happens when they do 3D? What do they do with 3D? What do they got? They got two lenses. What do they got? Yeah, we're throwing out trivia. We have absolutely no clue.
Yep.
The backstory of.
Yeah, but it's still more than I
have no idea what that means, really, John.
Got some cops going on there,
Besides,
TC.
Oh yeah, we got LA out in the background here.
It's pretty rare we get any noise from your mic.
Oh yeah.
So typically it's like the aspect ratio is 4:3 is like kind of the universal.
Oh, 16:10, 16:9.
Yeah.
4:3 is TV from the 90s.
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to brush up here.
He's going through the wiki right now, folks. We're just trying to figure it out.
Did you guys know this movie was made in 2012? Oh, he already said that. Never mind. All right, the next one is...
Shut up.
That was good, Jenny. I like that.
I got a question for you guys. Don't you love my questions? You know the scene where Captain America is like working out? He's punching the punching bags and he has like a whole line of them on the ground. Bags.
Yes.
Does he need to work out?
I don't think so.
Right? He's a mutant.
Well, I don't know. Captain America, I don't understand.
Something, right? Well, you know what they were trying to portray. You watched the commentary.
Yeah, but they don't talk about how like the actual character doesn't like he was a scrawny dude and then he got like a shot of steroids and now he's a superhero. So
out of the millions of people that saw this, what do you think the question to that millions of audience ratio is? Right, I'm pretty sure you're the only one that thought about it.
I don't really.
You think there's more like maybe there's Captain America fan clubs that are like, hey, he doesn't work out.
We don't see like Spider-Man
like shooting a target with his web.
Yeah, well, he does kind of swing around for fun, but maybe that's a bad example. The Hulk doesn't need to work out. Like, it's kind of the same thing, right? His superpower is the strength.
Yes, but he has to continue to work out or he will, he still has to work his muscles. So he still has to use them and exercise them for them to take advantage of it.
We're going back to realistic.
And he's not like a mutant. He's like got this extra, he's just got like super muscles, but they're still muscles. So you still have to do muscly things.
So if you shot Captain America in the head or the heart, he would die?
Yes.
Silence.
I don't know.
Dead.
I think you stumped us both on that.
No, you're just scared of pissing off nerds that know the answer to that.
Yeah. I'm not really scared of them, but I don't want to have to hear from them.
What's great is these questions are answered. I mean, when people are asking these questions on the internet, there's like pages and pages about.
I purposely stayed away from the internet because I'm sure all of the things I want to talk about would be answered, and then there wouldn't be anything to talk about.
Talked about. Yeah.
But I don't read the comic books. I just watched the movie. This is a question I had from watching the movie.
Yahoo Answers says no, he is not bulletproof.
Really?
He would die. He's still human.
Really?
There's a really detailed the Yahoo answer here. It's first hit.
So that whole scene where he's having like the gun battle in the blown up ship, he's just getting lucky that he's not getting peppered with bullets from the people.
No, well, that's why he's got his armor and his shield. I mean, he uses that all the time.
But he lost his shield. He ends up like throwing a chunk of the ship at the guy because he doesn't have his shield.
Yeah, he's just using his supernatural or enhanced, should we say, instead of supernatural. So we don't have to go down that path.
He's a roider. He's a roider is all it is.
He's a roider. He's on roids.
And somehow he survived being frozen.
And he's awfully friendly despite all that.
And religious.
Sure.
Yeah. Did you catch that when he was religious?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like
strange when he said that. There is only one true God.
He's still from his time. It's different, but he's still like he's like World War II guy. Yeah. So he still is that kind of person.
Yeah, right. That's true. He is one World War II guy. I love that one. He goes, I understand that. Yeah. And you're like, what? He's like, the reference. I got the reference. I got it. I got the reference. And everyone's like, okay.
That whole scene was pretty hilarious. That man is playing Galaga.
Yeah.
Yeah. This entire movie I was surprised at even seeing it twice before. I laughed at all the same jokes. Like the third time. It has been a couple years, but the timing is great. The editing is really fast.
It's a combination of all of that, like the actors being spot on, like really throwing themselves in the character, the humor just being really good, and then like you said, the timing of it really hits you where it's like the humor is surprising, and that's part of what makes it really funny.
Yeah. So the Gwyneth Paltrow character, the Iron Man's what's her name?
Pepper Potts.
Girlfriend, assistant.
Yes. Did you notice how she wasn't wearing shoes in all of her scenes?
No.
She wasn't wearing shoes in any of her scenes. And that's because she's much taller than Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how about how he's the reason why she was in this movie?
Yeah, they weren't going to bring that romance to the next level, but he talked Joss into it.
Well, I thought Joss, he was in one of the wikis, he was quoted as just saying initially he wanted each of the Avengers to be isolated so that they would come together with each other. And he didn't want to show all these side characters that they normally have, but Downey Jr. sort of talked him out of that.
Yeah, I thought it was good that she was in there.
Yeah. Oh, she's great. She's a great she's just. I mean, they're a great couple. They look good together.
Yeah, yeah. Those scenes are. I don't know. Those scenes are. I don't know.
Nice.
So I'm going to complain for a second because why not? I get bored in the middle of this movie every time. As soon as they go up in the ship, it gets boring for about 10 to 20 minutes. What do you think about that?
What happened? They go up and they capture Loki. They go up in the ship.
There's a lot of talking.
Yeah.
Well, and those are some of those scenes that they stitched together, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of talking to Loki in the cage. There's a lot of like trying to figure out what his plan is. There's a lot of being around the table and them just talking to each other about like the weapons. And they find out that it's Shield, right? Yeah. Trying to build weapons with the Tesseract and all that stuff. And nothing, I mean, the plot develops, but nothing happens really.
No, but it's more about you getting to see these characters sort of interact and fight with each other or just sort of like get on each other's nerves, or slowly you sort of see what Loki might be planning, because like they have the scene where Scarlet goes and talks to Loki and sort of like does this sort of like really cool Jedi mind trick on him, like playing the wimpy female so that he tells her what he's planning.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty cool scene.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
That was Joss's one of his favorite scenes, even though he said that was his favorite scene and his favorite shot was in that scene. But then he went on the rest of the movie to say that multiple more times.
Yeah. And the worst thing he said the whole goddamn commentary was texture. If I hear that guy say texture one more friggin' time, I was like ready to smash my headphones.
What did he say texture on?
Everything. Well, he really plays the roll up and it gives it that little bit more of a texture that we really needed at this point in the film. And then, he'll go on to then they're talking about graphics. It's like, and as you can see, like the extra 3D stuff that was added in just gives it a little bit more texture that just is, it's palpable. And he kept saying stuff like that. I'm like, this guy has got the biggest corporate film speak I've ever heard in my life. This sounds like an executive in a room.
Texture means he doesn't know what it means. It means it's good. It means it's better than shallow.
Right. Like it's dynamic. It's texture. It's hard to pinpoint really what that means, but it gives it that extra texture.
It's just better. It's just better.
Oh man, I was sitting here going like,
makes it better.
Don't say it again. Stop.
Is it a sandpaper, Joss, or is it like a Velcro? Which side of the Velcro is it?
You could have a drinking game with the texture. Yep, you said it again. Drink. Yep, you said it again.
Well, that'd be the nerdiest drinking game ever. The Avengers commentary drinking game.
The Whedon texture drinking game. God.
I'd play that. I'm not going to lie.
I really hope that he never hears this and I never have to meet him and go, sorry, texture thing.
No, we gushed about him. Val. We gushed about him. That doesn't change.
Yeah. No. He's still, overall, I think you guys would even still say he's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But so I have a question.
Yes.
Go for it.
So who is your favorite Avenger then from this movie?
Ooh, good question. Go for it, Denny.
Oh, that's a hard question.
It's a good question, though.
It's a good question. Oh, shit. I'm bouncing between two. Can I just say two?
All right, let's whittle it down. What do you got?
The Hulk and Iron Man.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Robert Downey Jr.'s banter is hilarious. The inside the helmet camera, even though it's used a lot in this movie, I never get sick of it. I think it's awesome all the time.
That's true.
Yeah,
I never get sick of it either.
Yeah. He's the most heroic character, yet he's like seemingly the most selfish at the same time. Like he's a good character, but the Hulk is awesome. Whenever he becomes the Hulk, it's like the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
So that's a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah.
So TC, what do you got?
What do you think, TC?
I was gonna say Iron Man, but now that he's bringing up the Hulk, I mean, the Hulk was one of my favorite of the comic, of the characters in the comic books.
Yeah.
I'm going with Iron Man, though.
Yeah.
I'm going with Robert Downey. I just like Robert Downey, too.
Yeah.
I think there's a bias there because I really like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's amazing for that role. Like Jon Favreau, like when they did that whole movie the first time, I mean, that was just an amazing sort of combination of him getting the perfect role for him. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that casting choice has spawned Disney so much money. Like that one day.
Right.
It's insane to think about.
Well, think about that too. It's like that's probably what attracted all these, made it pretty easy for all these other actors to sign on already. You got Robert Downey Jr. there in this iconic role already. So then they've all got to try to
no
match
matter
that.
what, this thing's going to make tons of money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but also it's like it's respectable even. He did so well in the Iron Man movies, and I think it'd be hard to find somebody who thought he was doing a bad job.
Right.
And even though they were like action superhero movies, it was like his performance was really good. It was like really quality acting. So I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Who would you say, John?
Elevate that.
Would you agree that it's Iron Man?
I think Ruffalo, the combination of I think it's close, but yeah, I don't know. I think Buffy does an awesome job as being like he's kind of the straight man, and I think that I don't know. He plays sort of a more like tortured kind of soul because he's this person that he can't control, and I think he does a great job of bringing that in the movie. So I don't know. I kind of think Hulk is probably I'd go with Hulk.
Nice.
I mean, part of that is because we've got Iron Man for like 3 other movies, so you can go. That's not Iron Man the Avenger. That's like Iron Man being Iron Man.
But Iron Man isn't as good in any of the Iron Mans as he is in this movie. I don't think.
Yeah, well, in this movie, he has less time, so it's like his greatest hits, sort of, where he can.
Right.
You're just not having to. It's not him though throughout the whole movie. So yeah.
Okay, so let's expand upon that game, John. So you think Hulk is your favorite character? What's your favorite Hulk moment in the movie? And TC, this question is coming to you too afterwards for the Iron Man.
All right, copy it.
To think about.
I think what my favorite Hulk movie is when he smacks Thor out of the blue after they like fight, and you're like, so Hulk's under control now, and I think it's just beautifully done.
That might be the best part of the entire movie because right before that happens, they have that extremely long single take shot of all of them doing their thing in the city. It just pans from like one of them to the next one to the next one in one like unbroken take, and then they kill the giant Leviathan thing, and then they share a moment and it gets punched. And it's just like the most epic part, followed by one of the funniest parts, like back to back.
Yeah, and this is like Josh doing the really awesome thing that he does where he sets you up to expect something. You expect that they're going to have some kind of buddy moment, like they're going to fist bump or something, or at least exchange all right, good job sort of thing. And it's so awesome that the Hulk just belts him. I agree. It's really I think I would agree. It's probably my favorite moment in the movie, but it builds up to that. It's really well done.
And apparently, so Joss at that moment of the commentary goes, and then you knock the Norse guy off the frame.
Yeah. That's what he said. That's right. And he laughs too. He giggles
because he apparently Thor gets knocked off the screen like 4 or 5 times this entire movie.
Right. He gets like you see him fly by a couple of times. Like,
he's a very durable guy.
So I don't know if you all are in agreement with that being the best scene.
No, I have a different one. TC, what do you think? Because that Iron Man isn't even in that one, so that can't be the answer. Iron Man.
Oh dear.
My favorite Iron Man was the scene where he flies when he starts the engine up. He's like, lever.
Oh yeah,
lever.
Yeah.
Anytime
lever.
now, lever.
And then like he slows his hands.
Like, oh,
he like
God.
can't go as fast as the thing.
Eats it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he just eats it.
That was pretty awesome.
Lover. Anytime now. Lover. Give me a minute. Lover. Oh no, he says.
Yeah, I like his little world. They portray his world inside the suit so well. Like he's getting beaten up, but they cut inside, and you can tell that it's still violent, even though he's in like this unbreakable metal stuff.
It's really part of that's like his voice and his expressions, and then the way they project the images on. I mean, it's just this great combination of all of those things. Where you it's weird that you're just looking at his face more or less, and it's very entertaining.
Yeah. Mine would be the scene where he tries to get the Hulk to come out by stabbing Mark Buffalo in the side with like a little pen. And then he just gives him like a look, like he just darts eyes at him to you know what scene I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
I laugh even when I watch the commentary. Like I don't pay. There was a bunch of times where I wasn't paying attention to the commentary because I was like, oh, this part's really funny. Yeah, it's pretty distracting.
I mean, yeah, it is. The commentary is hard to watch, I have to say.
Yeah, it's definitely hard when you're watching a good movie. Like when you're watching like the Throne of Blood commentary was kind of easy because it's slow and you're like same things happening for 3 minutes. But this one is so fast. And then there are things that happen that he doesn't even talk about because you're like, oh, like he's still talking about something else.
Something else.
Change topic. Talk about that. I want to know about that.
It's funny because I thought about that too. Like there were a couple times I was like, oh, why didn't he mention anything about that thing?
Yeah.
Like that particular thing that Scarlett Johansson just did. Or like he's talking about the last scene still and we just missed a whole scene.
Yeah.
And like I kind of wanted to know the information. It was something about like, I don't know, it was something about location. And I was like, I want to know like about that. And then he was talking about Thor or something. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I missed that.
Yep.
I guess he can only talk about so much at once, right?
Yeah.
But
they should just record like 5 commentary tracks of the same guy. He's like, all right, I talked about that last time, and now it's
they make him sit there for 5 hours, 7 or 10 hours. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. So the Lord of the Rings movies, they come with 5 commentaries each movie.
Oh dear!
Whoa,
we only have one in the top, right? We've only got the Return of the King.
What? All of them
are all 3? Oh, really?
All 3 of them are like in the top 20. Yeah.
I've never seen any of them.
You haven't seen the Lord of the Rings?
Haven't read the books. Haven't seen the movie.
Oh wow!
Shit,
that's going to be great. That's going to be wonderful.
Excited
TC.
for you. So excited for that.
Yeah. Are you excited or are you nervous?
I'm excited, dude.
Because I'm gonna like it, right?
They're amazing.
If you don't like it, it'll be fun.
Yeah. If you don't like it, I'm gonna argue you so hard it'll be hilarious.
I better come prepared like a lawyer for that one. I gotta have like dockets and precedents and like all sorts of stuff mapped out.
No. You see here at this scene, you clearly see that it doesn't make any sense.
No. Logically, the argument does not make sense if you figure out the last scene in this scene. No, Denny. No.
All right, so coming back to this movie for a moment.
Yeah.
All right.
So another question. Well, we were talking about the Hulk. So, did you guys see the other Hulk movies with Ed Norton in them?
I saw the one with the other guy too. I saw the other
Who was the other Hulk before Ed?
The guy who sucked. I forget what his name is. Bana. Eric Bana. Is that his name?
Oh,
Eric Bana?
I don't know.
That sounds right. It was an Ang Lee movie. Oh wait, which one was an Ang Lee? One of them was an Ang Lee movie.
I think the first was Ang Lee.
Yeah, that was the one with Eric Bana. That one had the Hulk in it for like 5 minutes. I remember it specifically. I saw it when I was in high school and it was raining outside and I went to the theater with a t-shirt and shorts on and I went into the theater soaking wet in t-shirt and shorts and I was freezing cold the entire time.
Oh, I bet.
And the movie sucked.
Won't do that again, will you?
No. But he was the Hulk for 5 minutes in that one. The Edward Norton one wasn't very good either. They're not believable
I don't
Hulks.
think I've seen those either. I have a feeling I may not have seen many cartoon or comic book movies. I just passed them by because I was,
Yeah, I saw that. I really didn't like the Ed one. I didn't think it was, I don't know. He's funny. I think he's really good sometimes. And then other times I don't think he's too good.
Yeah.
But it's really, what's interesting is that Ed didn't play the Hulk in this case. And he made noises that he wanted to.
I want to do the Hulk. Come on.
No, guys.
I mean, this is going to be a big deal, right? You're going to be like starring with Downey Jr. and all of these other, great actors.
Right.
But so Marvel put out this letter saying, we have made the decision to not bring Ed Norton back to portray the title role of Bruce Banner in the Avengers. Our decision is definitely not one based on monetary factors, but instead rooted in the need for an actor who embodies the creativity and collaborative spirit of our other talented cast members.
Wow, that's a rough
so they like
burn.
Ruffalo, and they don't like Norton.
It goes on further. The Avengers demands players who thrive working as part of an ensemble, as evidenced by Robert, Chris H., Chris E., Sam Scarlett, and all of our talented casts.
Whoa.
Wow.
We look
So somebody
forward,
got pissed off behind the scenes, and they were like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. We are looking to announce a named actor who fulfills these requirements and is passionate about the iconic role in the coming weeks.
Oh, man, he got fired.
Jesus.
He got fired.
So that was pretty insane. I thought
They fixed the glitch.
Why did they make that public? That's so harsh.
I don't know.
Because he must have been putting up a stink and pissing people off. So they
was he
put
a
out
diva?
a statement.
Is he a diva?
Maybe he was asking for more money. He tried to more recently. Ed tried to talk about recently how it was his decision. He wanted to pursue other projects.
Oh no, Ed! Don't do that.
Yeah, he said that
Eddie,
recently.
No,
Don't do that.
you're lying now, Eddie.
Yeah, you're just
Remember
making
me,
this up.
Eddie? When I killed your brother.
Wait.
Sorry.
Yeah, no.
What did you just go into, Roger Rabbit?
I just went into Roger Rabbit. I'm sorry.
That's funny.
Anyway,
this is
sorry.
really
What?
interesting. Just the point being that I think it would have been a lot less good if Ed was playing the Hulk.
Yes,
But
I agree.
it's just really interesting that he was kicked out. It's still kind of mysterious as to what exactly happened.
And
there.
what has he done since like 2012? Like nothing.
Ed?
Yeah.
He did Birdman. He was awesome in Birdman.
That's right. He was awesome in Birdman. Never mind.
Those are more his. That's more his.
He was in a Best Picture winner. No big deal.
Right.
Not
yeah.
a big deal.
He should have gotten the Oscar too. I thought he was I think he might have been my favorite part of that movie.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's on our list too, right?
Yes, I hope so.
Okay.
I want an excuse to watch that
I don't
movie
even
again.
know what the list is.
There's a lot of good ones on
Denny,
there.
if you didn't make that Gmail account with the calendar up, I'd be asking you every Monday.
Yeah.
So, what was it again? Oh, shoot.
What's the website?
I did the next one.
Oh.
I did the next one. I'll read the IMDb. I'll be all right. Let's go.
Nice.
I got a question about the movie. Again, I got a lot of questions. I got a lot of... dude, we haven't even got... I had 6 pages of notes. We're through 2 of my pages of notes. Should we start going faster on these, or what do you think? This is a pretty good pace.
Hurry up.
Well,
We have to
this
cut
is
it
fine.
off.
Just,
We have to cut it off at some point,
we can cut it off and edit it, but also just try to go with what you think is the best of what you got there, so we're not reading through the whole thing.
That's true. The USB arrow, when he shoots the arrow and it plugs into like the USB drive.
Yeah. Well,
what's up with
it's
that?
universal.
What was with that?
Yeah, there was a part in the commentary when he's like, "Yep, that's a virus arrow. That could exist. Don't make fun of me."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was the only
It's
time.
science again.
Yeah, I think it was the only time in the entire commentary he stopped what he was talking about to like make fun of himself because it was so stupid.
Stupid, yeah. No, that could happen, guys.
Yeah, that's totally a thing. Arrow, you just need to be able to aim it in between the components, not destroy the components, and then have it rotate to the right angle and stick the little needles into the thing. Yeah, all that's possible.
Perfectly. And no one's going to notice. It's perfect.
Yeah, just your typical virus arrow. Yeah. That's great.
That is good.
I think that's what's so great about him. I don't know if he's so self-effacing at times that it's really endearing the way he that was silly,
Yeah.
That's just pretty cool.
There was one part of the movie that could have been, there were a couple of like parts that were kind of extremely disturbing and I think should have made the movie R-rated. So this movie was supposed to be R-rated. Sorry, not supposed to be, but it was initially rated R. I have no idea what they cut out, but they brought it down to PG-13 probably because, major movie studio, tons of money. They pressured them into it and they let it pass. But that's just a conspiracy theory. There was the scene where Loki takes out that metal thing and it gouges the dude's eye out of his body.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
To act like a code.
Like it scans his eye.
Right. Well, they don't even show it. I don't know if they take the eyeball out, but they're like
you saw that device. It like
there.
had claws.
They show the eyeball.
It was like a drill.
Well, they don't show the eyeball. They show it like being like holographically recreated.
But
right?
he's mangling that dude's face. That's what's happening. You don't think so?
No, I think you're right. I just don't know if people were
offended. As long as you don't show it,
or offended, yeah.
But there,
right,
so
like John saying since they didn't show it, you didn't really see gore.
If this was Wasseypur, there'd be blood shooting out of that side.
Yeah.
Of that shot.
Oh God, dude, it would be covering everywhere. Yeah.
So I was just looking on the internet here where they're about what scene they had to cut.
Oh, nice.
And who's Paige? This guy is. They were interviewing this guy Paige, but I'm trying to figure out what his role was. But he's Feige, Feige. So I'm not sure what he did. But he said,
Feige?
whenever
he's like he headed Marvel for a long time. He's good friends with Joss Whedon.
So that's right. Gotcha. So they were asking him this. Screen Crush was asking him. And apparently the initial scene with Coulson dying was too graphic.
Oh, wow.
Where he gets stabbed from he said, well, whenever you impale somebody from their back and the blade comes out of their chest, there are issues.
Really?
So apparently that scene was originally too bloody.
Wow.
Yeah. You don't see apparently in the movie, the release, you don't see the impaling happen. You see sort of the blade there after it's already been put through. Oh. But you don't see the actual action.
I thought I saw the action. I thought I
did. But we might be seeing
the unrated.
I don't know.
Or what if you're just making the connection in your head?
No, I'm pretty sure I saw it twice in the past 2 days. And
true.
I'm pretty sure I saw the blade go through his chest because it was on him when it happened. You could see the front of his body because he had the gun in front of. Yeah, you could definitely see the blade go through his chest.
Yeah. So,
Captain America's shield is stronger than Thor's hammer. What do you think about that?
Wait a minute. It doesn't break. How do you know it's stronger?
Because Thor smashes him in
withstood
the
withstood the blast.
And Thor went flying, and Captain America was still standing there.
When did that happen?
That was when they were fighting. It's when Iron Man who was there first? It was Iron Man first and Thor fighting each other. Oh,
right. When they're right. Okay, gotcha. I remember that part now.
And then Captain America was late because he had to take a parachute because he doesn't have flying boots.
Yeah. That was when the big battle in New York starts and Bruce Banner shows up on a moped. Like he was in Africa or somewhere, and somehow he got how did he get over to New York? Yeah,
he was.
He showed up on the moped. What was that about, dude? He's in downtown New York.
It was a white dude. I mean, it was a white dude that spoke English with an American accent.
Oh, good point. I don't know where he ended up.
That part was hilarious, by the way, when he didn't have any clothes, and the guy was like, "Hey, man, I saw you fall out of the sky."
Yeah, and I love how he made it like a Coen Brothers movie in the commentary. He's like, "Oh, all of a sudden we're in a Coen Brothers movie."
Yeah, because so. I forget who it was. Someone else working on the movie was working on a documentary on that guy, that actor in that scene. And they brought him in. Like he wrote the scene with him in mind, and they actually got the actor to come in. He's like an old actor. He's been in a bunch of like classic movies.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I don't know enough. I didn't recognize him, so I don't know. But that guy is famous.
He was the father in that Showtime movie or TV show about the polygamists. What was that name?
Big Love?
He's good. Yeah, Big Love. He was in Big Love. He's the dad, the crazy father. He's been in a lot of stuff in the modern times, but as like that, kind of like randomly put into a movie that has nothing to do with his kind of style.
Yeah.
So I got a big question for you guys. Big question. The Hulk. If he's angry all the time and he can control his powers, why was there that scene halfway through the movie where he was out of control of his powers and almost killed Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they made it seem like he realized that he could control it by the end of the movie.
like it was a process. Like I think that's why they sort of made the point of that scene where the guy who discovers him says that that it seems to indicate that he was trying not to hurt anybody even as he was falling.
But he says, "I'm always angry for the last 45 minutes." That doesn't make sense. You know, I don't know.
No, he's always angry. He's just keeping it in check.
But he couldn't keep it in check. Like he seemed to be almost completely in control of his power out of nowhere. In the last scene.
He did.
I think they were trying to, but they were trying to make it look like it was a journey.
He saved Iron Man, and he almost killed Black Widow.
Thor was about to do something with his hammer, which may have, but I don't know. I don't know what he was going to do with the hammer. I don't know
he was going to spin it and then fly in the air and catch him.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know that move? He's got a pretty sweet little.
I didn't know he has a spin hammer. And
You didn't see that
move.
Yeah, he spins it. He spins it, and then he throws it, and then he like gets dragged by it.
Oh, okay. That would hurt. But yeah, I think they were trying. I don't know if they had enough time or they just didn't do it. But I think that was kind of the like Iron Man or Downey's character, Tony Stark, was trying to tell him he could do it. He could control it. He just needed to not be so scared of it.
And Scarlett kept telling him that.
Yeah,
over the course of the movie.
Yeah. So he and maybe the point is he can control it, but he just doesn't always control it. Like so that there's still a chance that he could really hurt somebody. That he's
and he kind of always made him seem very depressed and very like down on himself. Like he can't do it, and he's just giving up. And so then he finally like got some courage, and then now all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you know what, I can do this. But you're right. It's like a neat little bow that they tied there.
The invasion at the end, nobody dies. There's no casualties. There are no casualties during
on screen.
On screen. I mean,
yeah, death toll in the thousands with all the buildings getting smashed and everything.
What do you think?
Right. Yeah. One of my notes was, imagine going to work and like it's 11:30. You're like, I'm about to go down the taco truck or the burger joint, right? And then all of a sudden you look out your window and you see that flying thing coming down the street, and then its tail smashes your building and it collapses. Like that was some crazy. Like I was just thinking about it, like if this was real. Like these poor people are at their job.
Yeah, well, I mean, and they were limited, I'm sure, in their casting. Sorry to interrupt, TC, but so there would have been tons more people running and screaming than we saw.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. That last scene kind of seemed like Ghostbusters to me, in a good way. You know, like when the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is coming, when like New York is being terrorized, and it's all just real people like eating dinner, and now there are like cop cars coming on the streets, and they're just getting destroyed.
Oh, speaking of cops, how that part with the cop, the guy that always plays a cop, when he's like, "Why should I listen to you?"
Yeah.
And then Captain America like beats up those dudes.
Yeah.
And as soon as he beats up the last dude, the guys turn around. All right, I need guys in that building over there. I need these guys over here. We need to back up these people. And it was like,
it's hilarious.
Like, he played that role so well. Because he always plays that role.
Yeah, there's something about this movie where there's things like that are totally predictable, but they work so well. And even though you know it's coming, it's like hilarious. I was like laughing at every single time.
And he pulled off that thing, like he pulled off that look in your face when you know someone's dead on, right? And you immediately snap into whatever they said.
Yeah.
You know? Like when one of your friends is like, "No, you're an idiot." This one, you're like, "Yep, I'm an idiot. That's true. You're right. You're absolutely right." Like he had that face down when he turned around, and he was like, it was great. It was priceless. I think that he was hired to do exactly that, and he pulled it off perfectly.
I think it's kind of an amazing thing about this movie. There are so many great moments amongst so many different characters and so many different actors. It's really kind of impressive. I mean, and it was such a big budget Hollywood blockbuster and all of that, but yet there's so many great parts of it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I really enjoyed it. So I'm just gonna spit out some really quick trivia because there's some of these don't have anything to talk about, and I'll move past them quick. Joss said the most difficult part of making this movie was writing the script, seeing as he did it the entire time they were making the movie. You just keep rewriting and like rejiggering everything. Some of the special effects were added within the week of them delivering the movie as final.
It's insane.
Which seems to be cutting it pretty close.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to.
There's some people working overtime there.
Yeah.
Some.
Here's one that's kind of cool. You probably didn't notice it, and TC knows this, but John, the possessed actors, Loki's possessed minions, they initially shot it without thinking they were going to foggy up their eyes to make them look possessed. But in the first edit, or like when they were done shooting, they had some edits, and they're like, this isn't really obvious to people that these guys are possessed. This guy, like people who don't know this character, he looks like a bad guy. So they went back and digitally added in like blue haze to both of the scientist and Hawkeye's eyes to show that they were possessed.
And none of the actors knew that was going to happen.
No, right. Yeah. He wasn't acting knowing his eyes were going to be changed.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if that'd make that big a difference, really.
I think it might if they were. I think it might.
They probably would have put
It's
contacts
one of those
in
things
them.
that's. Yeah, but it's one of those things that like gets into an actor's head. They don't need to know, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because they came up with that idea pretty early on in shooting.
I mean, it would probably make Jeremy Renner try to act more to show the subtle difference between his characters of being like possessed and not possessed.
Well, I could see that too, because if you didn't know, you'd be like, wow, the bow guy's a bad guy. You wouldn't know. I mean, you wouldn't know that Hawkeye's supposed to be a good guy, really.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You'd forget. Like, you might have blinked during that one scene that just describes it, and then you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Another cool thing was Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I like that thing about where they talked about the camera, and the actors all thought he was crazy, but nobody said anything.
Say,
there's like I don't remember quite exactly what scene it was, but apparently the camera moves, and then as it's done moving, it then flips over.
Oh, right. It was the scene where they were all arguing in the on the ship, and it kind of shows Loki's scepter, and then
right?
Yeah, it's like, this is why everyone's turning against each other, because Loki's planning it, and then it turns upside down in the same shot, and then everyone's
while
upside
they
down.
were shooting. Yeah, and while they were shooting that, nobody explained to the actors why the camera would be turning upside down. So
they just gave them the
directions.
directions.
All watching the screening. Yeah, they're watching the screening, and then they see it in like what it ended up with, and they all said to him, "Oh, we all thought you were crazy. Like, we didn't know what you were doing with that. Like, why is the camera turning upside down? I don't know. Like, that's what they were doing themselves. But everybody had enough respect for Whedon to not ask or say anything. They just kept on working. And then once they got it, it was kind of funny to see that, like, even the actors are like treading lightly. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
It's weird to see how much respect everybody has for him. Because if you were to, he must act differently on set, because on the commentary, he seems like he's he's
probably the boss on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to listen to the commentary,
sure.
John. It's very, very good.
Yeah. No, that is interesting. I mean, I think I don't know if he's done great work, and how does he direct? I mean, you can't see him. He doesn't come across like he's going to be angry or anything like that and push people around.
No, but they have a way of being about them that's not like their personalities. They're at work.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like how you act when you're at work. It's a little bit different than how you act when you're outside.
That's true.
Of work,
when you got a job to do, it's like, this is my job.
When you have a job to do and you have all these people below you, like, you're the boss.
Yeah.
So you come in and you just bark orders almost. We don't bark at them, but you're saying order, like he was saying in that scene. He's like, you're going to go over here, you're going to go over here, then you're going to move, and then this is going to happen, and then that, and then we're going to get to the end of the scene. Okay, let's go. And then like, he doesn't tell them why they're doing that, really. I mean, he might give them some context, but...
so he's not going to be like, well, you could go there, that'll probably be stupid, but that's okay.
Right. But I mean, the actors shouldn't be concerned about the camera movements, right? They should be focusing on...
No, they always are. What do you mean?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, shouldn't they be focusing on the scene and like their emotions and shit like that?
No, because their emotions and everything that they do, every step they take, every move that they have in the certain shot is going to be predicated on where the camera is.
But as long as they have
when the camera
stage direction, and then they have their lines and the direction of the scene, then that's all they need to know. They don't need to know why the camera's like flipping upside down.
Right.
And stuff.
No, never. They had no idea why the camera. They just need to know where they're supposed to be as in relation to the camera.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't need to explain to them why the thing's turning upside down right now. They don't need to know that.
It must have been funny that like after that day, you're like, what the hell did we just do?
Hell is he doing? Yeah, they're all sitting around the bar like, what was that? I have no idea.
Oh, there was a funny, speaking of them going to the bar, they shot at different times a lot of the time during the show, and they didn't get, during the filming of the movie, they didn't get a lot of time off either. But there was one night they had off, and I forget who it was. I think it was the Captain America character, texted everybody, assemble. And then
and that's why you texted us that today?
Yeah. And then they all met out at a bar together.
That's pretty funny.
Because they don't say that in the movie, but there was like, Avengers, assemble. That was like the thing in the comic books.
He probably already had two or three.
That was Marvel's Avengers Assemble. That was what it was called in Britain too, because there was a popular TV series called The Avengers. Oh. And so...
that was that Sean Connery movie.
And then they made a movie about it too. Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah,
yeah,
the late 90s. Another thing for you. So you know the scene where Loki's coming out of the auction house and he blows a cop car up and it slides like all the way on its nose.
Oh yeah, this is awesome. Yeah,
John, you know that scene?
I do.
Yeah. The first time they tried to do that, they wanted the cop car just to flip over like a normal shot like that. But the stunt went odd, and the car went up on its nose, traveled 30 feet, and then went back down on its tires. And everybody thought it was so awesome that they reshot the very end of it so they could like cut in together another car flipping over on its front. So it looked like it just slid.
After it traveled 30 feet.
Yeah. So it just
cool.
slid accidentally all the way down the street.
It was like a total happy accident
Yeah.
right there. And it turned out to be really awesome,
It was
I thought.
so
Like,
cool. I was like, did they put
Yeah, it
wires in the
was.
back of that car and just like drag it down the
No,
street?
they just got lucky.
Yeah.
They got
Wow,
lucky.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I mean, I would have completely assumed that shot was planned. That
It was so
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
They wanted more Hulk. The Hulk was the most expensive part of the movie.
Oh,
So it was kind of, he didn't say this,
Really?
but it seemed, yeah. So they had to, like, a lot of the motion capture was expensive, and then it was even more expensive to do the things that motion capture couldn't do, like the very extreme things that the Hulk does.
right. Where you have to animate the whole thing.
Yeah. And I mean, his animation's pretty good. He looks.
Oh, I think I would have been happy with more Hulk. Like a movie with this Hulk would be a lot of fun, I think.
But is it kind of like a Jaws thing? I think it's kind of like maybe a Jaws thing where it's like you get just enough where you want so much more, but maybe you don't.
That's true.
Maybe you don't want more.
Right.
you
Then
think you
you'll
do.
see the rubber teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. I think it was really fun to watch him though.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah.
And even though his character arc didn't really make sense, I liked it how he became friends with people and like could like control himself at the end.
Yeah, I liked it too. It was happy. It was nice.
It was good.
It was good, yeah.
Again,
good.
Buffalo did this great job of like being a sympathetic character. You know, he does a great job of this of seeming like a pretty normal guy who's got, who might be struggling with one thing or another. So he did a great job of that. So
Yeah, that moment where he said he tried to kill himself.
That was heavy.
That was pretty good. That was a heavy moment. The other actors did a good job of like their facial expressions of that. Like, hold on a second, did I hear what he just said?
Yeah.
And he
Right?
does
Like,
it. Right. He does it in a way that it's not like he's trying to get, I don't know, he's not trying to be dramatic or get sympathy or whatever. I don't know. He just does it in a very
he
believable
kind of did it in
way.
a dismissive way. Like,
Right. Tried
like,
that.
you guys aren't getting it. Like, yeah, I've tried to kill myself. It didn't work, dude. Like,
There was another
I want. It's not gonna happen.
So that scene was pretty heavy. The other scene I was going to think that was extremely violent, but it didn't show anything, was when Loki was threatening Scarlett Johansson, and he talked about how he was going to control Hawkeye until he choked the life out of Black Widow, and then as soon as she was dead, he was going to pull his possession off, and then wait for him to realize what he had done, and then like kill him, like smash him in the skull with like an axe or whatever, like his scepter.
Yeah,
That was horrible.
that was
Like if you follow the narrative of what he's saying, it's like really, really a bad thing to do. Yeah. And if they had done that, it would have been upsetting. It would have been R. It would have been R, and it would have been very, very upsetting. I think I only have a couple more, and then I have some. I could play a game with a couple of these facts. The last thing delivered. Take a guess. The very long shot, the single take long shot right before Hulk smashes door.
because there's so much.
Yeah.
Is that just because there's so much like post production stuff?
right,
or
Yeah,
what?
they were thinking about cutting, like not having the entire thing. But Joss was like, the whole, like, this is the Avengers. This scene is the movie. This is when they are
No, he
beating
didn't
the
say that. It
Avengers.
was someone else. Remember?
Oh, was it somebody else?
They were sitting in he said that they were sitting in a meeting, and someone else, like not
him.
a person
Oh,
that was
I
like
missed that.
important. Yeah, not important as him, was just like, you guys can't do that. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, this is the Avengers. They're together. They're fighting. Like, you can't get rid of that scene. You cannot do it. And then he agreed. He was like, you're
Yeah.
right. He's right. That's a really good point. This is
cool.
like the only shot where they're all doing something together besides bickering.
Yeah, and it's really the only way to one up the action at that point. Like 2 hours and like 10 minutes into the movie, what else are you gonna do?
Right.
There's been so much cool stuff, and you're like, oh, a very long continuous take of all of them working together and killing a lot of these aliens is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's really odd how we know so little of. We know Loki, but these bad guys we know nothing of. Really, they're just.
Oh, the
Who is
actual
that
aliens?
guy?
Yeah.
Who is the alien?
I don't know.
I've seen all the other. I haven't. So I don't know. I still don't understand it.
You're talking about that scene where it's just Loki and that weird dude that's wrapped up in mummy looking stuff.
He's
talking to each other.
He looks like a California raisin in like a old Roman Empire helmet.
Yeah,
that guy.
That's good.
Yeah, Roman Raisin. I don't know what his name is.
Alex the Raisin.
So.
But yeah, that was just something that it's just sort of strange in the movie that there's this whole other presence thing and other universe, and the mothership gets blown up at the end. And we know nothing about these things. These bad guys, this army. You don't really. I imagine in the script, or if you read up on it, there's reasons why Loki's doing what he's doing and cooperating with these people and how they got hooked up. But it's just like none of that is explained.
Yeah, you need to be a comic book fan.
Maybe later or no. Like later in other movie, the next one or whatever?
I still don't know what's going on in any of this stuff.
So they got there's another one after this, then, then one more
Avengers:
on the
Age
books.
of Ultron, and so
two more.
Then there's only one more Avengers, but the new Captain America is pretty much an Avengers movie.
I just saw on IMDb that there's another one coming out. Rumored.
Infinity War is the next one.
Right, and then there's an untitled one after that.
Yeah,
so
there are going to be two Infinity
planned.
Wars, but now there's just going to be one, and then they're going to make another one after that.
Wow, so I got a lot to catch up on that. But they don't go into any of this Loki stuff in the future.
They do, but
films.
I've only ever this is the only one of those movies I've seen more than once, and the other ones aren't as good, so I haven't paid very close attention to them. So I don't know. I mean, I think they might probably explain more than this one does, but I still don't know who the hell that guy in space is.
Okay.
And I mean, if he can send somebody through space to Earth, why doesn't he send himself and take over stuff? I don't understand their motivations.
As opposed to Loki?
Yeah, if he's better than Loki, why doesn't he go?
He looked old. He's old, centuries old. He's tired. He's just got a lazy boy. He's got a Bud Light. He's good.
Dude, he lives in a rock by himself floating in space.
He's a rock friends. It's like it's like Castle in the Sky thing. They got rock friends. They're good. They're good. He's all set. He's too ugly to be on Earth. Loki looks kind of like he could blend in. You go.
It's true. It is true. So this movie made a shit ton of money.
A ton of money. I mean, unreal. Compared to what they put into it, it's an unreal amount.
So if you removed James Cameron from existence and teleported back before December of last year, this would be the highest grossing movie of all time.
Wow.
And it would also have the biggest
dollars. Billions.
It would also be the highest opening weekend of all time. This movie made $1.519 billion worldwide and $623 million domestic. The only movies that are above it are two movies that came out within the past year, Star Wars, Force Awakens, and Jurassic World, and Titanic and Avatar. And Titanic and Avatar don't really count because they're in a league of their own. I feel. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. I don't think. I mean, you think that they're that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. But it also was the first movie ever to break $200 million worldwide opening weekend.
And they only spent $200 million.
It was $220.
So the first weekend, these guys had cigars lighting them up, right?
Nice, yeah.
They had to have known it was going to I remember the hype going into this movie. It was
how could it be
I don't know. Could you ever know? Because I feel like if they knew, they would give them more money.
The hype. No. So when they finished it, they releasing set images and had trailers, and that's when the hype was getting going. And that was after the movie was already closing. You can't just extend it, because it's going to be better, right?
Well, but think about it. I don't know if there's ever been a movie where, as part of building the hypes, you have 4 other movies before it that are all leading up to this.
Yeah.
Or each of those movies doing quite well. And it's and here they all are together. It's
right.
It's like one big long commercial over a period of years.
Yeah, that's
an interesting way of putting it.
It was a little some of the movies seemed a little tailored to that, but I mean, it wasn't terrible for considering how big they were trying to make it.
No, it's still impressive that the whole thing worked. I mean, just that it actually, they were able to get these things and keep the same actors and start integrating this stuff. You have Thor, you have Captain America, and you have Iron Man as kind of the people that they were making movies about, right?
Yeah.
And it all worked. And then they brought the bad guy. I mean, just the coordination is insane. Like they got the bad guy from Thor. Then they got like some of the bit players, like the amount of cooperation and stuff just alone on that is kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's pretty nuts. The last thing I want to say from the commentary is that Joss Whedon, during the scene we talked about, like at the very beginning, where the Hulk smashes Loki over and over again.
Yeah.
He went on like a little tangent and said, if I were to sit on my ass or something like that and not do anything for 2 years and not ever have accomplished anything, but I got this one thing to work the way it did, I would feel accomplished. And then he like went on talking about how he thinks, he's like, people didn't agree it was going to be so good, but I think this is like the coolest thing ever.
I mean, this sort of just the abrupt "I am a god" and then Hulk flinging him around like he's like beating a rug or something.
That whole scene where he's smashing him like that was like that. The way they did that was so good. It was so quick and it was funny, but it was also really violent at the same time. Yeah, it's good stuff. He loves that part. He loves that part. It's pretty funny.
I mean, it was a great part.
Yeah,
I loved it too.
I did too. It's good stuff.
He just sits there. He can't even breathe after that. He's like a foot into the ground.
His
at that
facial expression on the ground when he's like, was hilarious.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah. He props to being such a good bad guy. He does a great job of making us sort of like very happy to see him flung around like a rag doll.
Yeah.
I think he does a great job of sort of like, and he's not like he's like running around laughing crazily all the time or anything like that. He actually seems to be kind of a smart sort of tortured guy.
He was just smug.
Yeah, he's smug. Yeah.
He's just smug.
Not a cackle. Not a single one.
Not a laughing guy.
No, he smiled, but the smiles are creepy and like scary.
Well, yeah, he had a smile when he heard Banner there become.
Yep.
Yeah, but he didn't do him.
Well, then he had a big smile. So we paused.
He had the smile.
Yeah, we paused it. I was doing laundry, watching the commentary. There was a scene when he was talking to Scarlett Johansson, and he thinks that he tricked her into like feeling really bad about that scenario he made up. And I paused it right in his face, and he had like and he was laughing, and he had a huge smile on his face. And then we actually talked about how his facial expression was amazing because like, if you covered up the top half of his face, he looked like he was happy. But then you like move your hand down to his mouth and only look at his eyes, and he was, behind his eyes was not happy. There was like bad things going on back there.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, man, that's when you have to wonder, like, that's what good acting is, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how you act with your eyes.
Splitting up your face.
Yeah. So hey, 250, top 250.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think especially talking about it like this, and we think of all the great moments that are in this, and the actors, everything. I think so.
I would agree.
I watched it 3 times.
Yeah.
With commentary. Okay, that should just throw it up at a level that is
your
like
commentary cherry with this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely did. Yeah. Now I'm gonna watch it like that every time because why not?
Yeah. If you like it, you get to learn about it, and it's.
Yeah. Except besides all the texture, I mean, I'm in.
Well, you have what's really neat
gives
is
my life texture.
Oh God.
Oh, that's a sad note.
Just so much texture.
TC's comment added texture to this podcast.
It's so palpable.
So yeah, we all agree. Definitely top 250.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised it's like how popular it is. I'm surprised it's not higher on it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. So like, it's startling to me, like Guardians of the Galaxy, for example, which is a very similar type of film in some ways, 2 steps ahead.
Yeah. I can't wait to rewatch that one because I'm curious how it stands up like almost back to back to this one.
But I'm also really surprised. I mean, none of us are like snobby film buffs or anything, but it'll be really interesting.
Speak for yourself, John.
I know. Okay, well, I misjudged you then.
Don't
I'm
worry
sorry
about that.
No, it's the interesting thought is, does this movie actually stack up against some of the best? And it'll be really interesting as we get closer to the top to sort of make those comparisons.
I think it might. Honestly,
that's what's really interesting, right?
Yeah, but just in terms of what it's spawning, in terms of how it changed movies, it's 100% going to change the future of movies. That's without question. It already has. Like the biggest blockbusters out now are because of Iron Man in this movie.
So you could argue like Deadpool was made possible.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And I can see that. It depends whether, like, I don't like most of the new superhero movies, but a lot of people do. They're still seeing them, and it's like they're the blockbusters.
So is
now.
it genre specific though?
What do you mean?
Like, as in like
superhero movies only?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so. But there's a ton of those. There's like 3 per summer, and then there's more other times.
That's kind of wild. 3 per summer.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, it didn't. Certainly, the Marvel ones have done well. The DC ones have been kind of bad. Like the Superman.
I haven't seen any
Spider-Man,
of them, but they're making money. Like Suicide Squad and Batman
Fantastic
versus Superman
or whatever
made a ton of money.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've definitely, I think Iron Man and this one gave people a taste of how good they could be. And now people are just coasting to a degree.
And they're just waiting for it, dying for it.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if another superhero movie makes more money than this movie made.
Yeah, again, it was just such a combination of events coming together. Although I don't know how Avengers Age of Ultron did. I'm sure it made lots of money.
It almost made as much, but it was below. But usually, like, coming off of something good, you make more money because the hype is huge.
Yeah, but this was like,
Is that true? I'm not even sure if that's true.
I think it's kind of true. When you come off a good thing, and people just go immediately because the last thing was good, and then if that one sucks, you're screwed.
Yeah, like Spider-Man 3 was bad, and Pirates of the Caribbean 3 was bad, but both of those movies made tons of money because.
And how many are they on now with Pirates of the Caribbean? Like
5, I think.
Million.
Yeah, they just announced there's a trailer now for another one.
Yep. It has what's his name, Javier Bardem in it. So.
Well, that's good.
I might be seeing it. It could be good. Well, cool. I think you guys have anything else to say about this?
I got not much. No, I don't think so.
I'm glad we watched this. I am.
Yeah, me too.
This really put perspective into the movies we've seen so far. I think for me, like Castle in the Sky.
Oh, I wanted to say, I wanted to bring up one thing. Who did you guys think was the worst actor in the movie? Because I got one.
Do you have an answer, John? I want to think about this.
Not offhand. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to think.
I've got one ready to go.
Is it? Wait.
All right. Do you have one, John?
Well, the one question is it one of the major players or is it a bit part?
Bit part.
But is it a bit part throughout the entire movie?
I just gave it away.
I know who it is. I know who it is. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. She's the worst, dude. She is so bad. That the army chick, the one that's like, sir.
Did you see who they turned down for that?
Oh my God, she was so bad.
They cast her over the woman. I forget her name. She was in Deadpool, whatever her name was.
The girl from Firefly.
Yes,
who was also in Deadpool.
They took this one over her. They took this one over Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and then there was one more I forget. The one thing I say about her is she did all of her own stunts.
Yeah, but she couldn't deliver a line if you.
I wasn't. Her. Maybe I watch now. I'll be annoyed.
She was an army person though,
but not a good one.
I don't know. She was like kind of like a robotic army person. When I watched, I didn't like her either. But then when I saw Joss talk about her during the commentary,
is it Kobe Smulders?
Yeah,
is that her?
Yep. Whenever Joss talked about her, he mentioned how good she was, and I was like,
because she played. But you know why? Because she's not Edward Norton. She's a great corporate movie actor. Does exactly what you tell her to and can move around. But goddamn, can she not deliver all those lines? Maybe the lines just weren't good for her. But it was brutal. Every time she spoke, I was like, it was the worst. She's the worst.
I knew you were going to say that one because I kind of agree to an extent, but also she has the least amount of stuff to work with, I think. Like
True.
She's like a yes woman.
She basically, she just has to state the obvious. Oh, somebody's angry out there, huh?
Yeah, the fire department.
Right.
Next time. Anyways, go ahead.
No, she either had to like acknowledge an order or state the obvious. I think those are like kind of the things
I guess
that she would
her
do.
character was kind of there to just like solidify where the story was headed.
Yeah.
You know, and to sort of keep it moving along and not really to be pivotal aspects to it.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay.
I was surprised because when I watched, she's in the entire movie frequently, and I had no idea what her name is in the movie.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Right?
Either. Agent something.
It seems like they did her a little disservice in how they
Agent
introduced
Maria
her.
Hill.
Yeah. Did they ever say that in the movie? I don't remember hearing that at all. But John, do you have one?
But yeah, anyways, that's all I had.
As far as the bad acting,
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, I would even put her in a bad acting camp. I think that everyone does, considering the material.
Hold on.
Yep.
Backtrack. I just said in the movie.
In the movie.
And say in general. In the movie.
No, it's fine.
No, in the movie. I'm talking about in the movie. Yeah.
Oh.
I thought.
Okay.
I mean, it's more a matter of he didn't have much to work with, but Arrow guy is probably my least favorite in terms of he didn't really have anything to say. All he had were like arrows.
Renner.
Yeah, Renner. Yeah,
You got the green guy.
Arrow guy.
You got the metal.
Yeah.
What do you mean? He
guy.
runs out of the arrows. That was the worst part of the thing for him. Like, you only ever carry 6 of them. How do you keep shooting everybody?
You got the jacked hammer man. You got the horn head guy.
Yeah,
you
I'm
got
going with
arrow
Kobe.
guy.
My girl Kobe
there's
stunk it up.
not much in his character, but he had nothing to say. Not really much to add.
Yeah.
He mentions that. Whedon mentions that in the commentary. They didn't have much for him to do throughout the whole film.
Yeah, they tried to figure out. So the entire thing of him being a bad guy was added later because he couldn't figure out what to do with him.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then that one scene where they were like, he was like, I don't know, they were in the middle of shooting something, and he had done so little so far that he didn't expect to have to act really that day.
Yeah,
and
that was
and
hilarious.
Whedon was like, no, this is you. You got to act now. This is like it's your turn. It's your turn or something like.
The first day of the shoot for him was the scene where he was becoming unbad with Scarlett Johansson in the hospital thing.
Oh, right.
And they were shooting. They had the camera outside the door, and they were looking at him through the window. And they had like a microphone in the room, and they were trying to get him to do the lines. And he's like, "Dude, you're just mumbling and not saying anything." And Jeremy Renner was like, "You're not going to use this anyway. This is just going to be like an establishing shot." And he's like, "Dude, you still have to act,
dude." You got to act. Yeah. You still got to act. And what do you mean we're not going to use it? We're going to use it.
I was like, no, I just shoot the arrows,
he had gotten
man. That's
so
all I
used
do.
to having him in the shot, like being in the shot when nothing was going to be used.
How many lazy directors has he worked with before? We just let him get away with not doing anything for a shot.
Well, no, and I think it was a matter of him being so used to showing up to work every day and just being told to make a face. That he just didn't assume that like he was
on other movies.
No, I thought he meant like in the beginning of shooting.
That was the first day he was on this set for this movie.
On that set, but not that they had not the first day they had shot anything.
Shot him. That was the first day he was shot during the movie.
Oh, I see.
So that was
I thought
like
it was that they had already been shooting, but they had done nothing with him so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he meant when he said nothing. I thought he meant like we didn't really do much as far as him being an actor. That's all I got.
So next movie is exciting.
Which one is it?
A Fistful of Dollars.
Oh yeah, that's
1964. Sergio Leone. It's the movie that made Clint Eastwood a icon, or at least put him like on the path to becoming an icon. Have you guys seen this movie before?
I have not seen this movie.
Nope.
No, I have a while ago. So I'm really excited to watch it.
Nice.
We've got a Western middle in our Oreo superhero cookie here.
That doesn't sound very good.
And end of episode right there.
Just cuts,
It's all
cuts
dusty.
to nothing. People shake their
Cuts to
iPhones.
black. Yeah, yep.
I think it's broken.
What was that? Yep.
Hey, so yeah, end of episode. Thanks for listening. Subscribe and rate. Go to our website.
Subscribe and rate.
mission250filmcast.com. Sorry. And email us at mission250filmcast@gmail.com. Is that it, John? You usually correct me if I miss something.
Go to the website to check out the list and follow along.
There we go.
Yeah. Watch Fistful of Dollars with us.
Follow along. It'll be fun. We got to watch Clint in his little blanket and his hat and his little handmade cigarette. I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Yes.
Time to
It
go.
is.
Time to go.
It is time to go. It's the yo yeah goodbye.
All right.
All right, later, guys.
Later.
All right, bye.